it's Rita with Everything Homemade, and I am doing a complete update. And so basically I'm going to start outside. We're going to walk around really quick, show you what's happening here. Thank you, Thunder. Take a look at Thunder. He's the one who has to have a voice today. Anyway, so we are going to do that. I am also going to give you a reminder, and I'm going to do that right now. It is fall time. We are 1 week from schooling. How does that affect you? It does majorly, because it affects me because I'm the teacher. So I am teaching grades 1, grade 3, grade 5, and grade 7 this year with my kids. We push really hard for schooling all the way to April. So from September to April, we're heavy into schooling. So that means that my 6 hours that I'm usually outside with the kids, we are inside schooling, so therefore not as many films will be posted. This will be one of the final films that I will do until early spring 2020. But I will also, on some free time, I have about 5 or 6 films that need to get edited, that need to get placed on YouTube. So I'm going to be working on that in between schooling and other things, to catch up on a lot of stuff we did this summer that I have not been able to sit down and edit. Believe it or not, a typical film that I put up takes about 4 hours of video editing straight. I have some footage. I have about at least 15 hours of footage to go through to make films on some major projects that we did here. So it takes a lot of time, a lot of early mornings, 4 o'clock in the morning before my kids get up, to do an hour every day of editing. It really adds up. So just be patient, and I thank you for your patience, as it is a very busy household here. So we're gonna go through, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna get school prepped, what I'm looking at there as a teacher, as a homeschool mom, what kind of goes through my head in getting things. I'm going to go through some food prepping that I do. I'm going to go through their books a bit. We're going to go through the farm, just give you an overview of everything, and I'm going to stick in little clips that I had filmed early on that I'm going to show you concerning our cows and the birthing there. So there's a lot happening, so let's get started. So let's just start this tour right here. It is early morning. It is 8:30 right now in the morning, and you can see the sun is just coming up over the trees. And I'm doing this right now before my 11-month-old wakes up. The rest of us have eaten breakfast. She's sleeping in, so I figured, hey, this would be a good time to start this. So you can see something totally different. If you have followed our channel, you will notice that right over here is usually our raspberries that are about 6 feet tall. They are completely cut down. They are completely cut down for one reason. We are totally redoing this area. My husband has tilled this patch way bigger, and we are going to turn where it is freshly tilled. You can see here is going to be the new raspberry patch. And then over here, we are actually going to dig up every single raspberry plant, and it's going to be switching over to gojis. And so I have one goji here that we just put in and found this year out of, you know, when you go to the garden store, you're like, hey, I want a goji plant, and there it comes, and now you're doing gojis. Anyway, so this is going to be the old raspberry patch is going to be the goji patch, and this area that was just empty space that we extended is actually going to be the new raspberry patch. So what we're going to do is every 3 feet, we're going to do a nice long row, 2-foot walkway, 3 feet, 2-foot walkway, kind of get the idea. We're going to put an infrastructure to make sure the raspberries don't fall down. We're just going to totally reorganize this. This raspberry patch, when we moved in the house, was already existing, and I'm going to guess that it is at least 40 years old. It is such an old raspberry patch, and in all honesty, it just really needs to be rejuvenated. And so I cut it all down, and we are going to basically, I'm going to plant the healthy suckers over here. Plus I'm going to order about four different varieties, so some golden raspberries, maybe some purple ones, some Nova raspberries. Just have some fun. I love raspberries, so we might as well make some fun out of it. And I'm going to keep some of this, but what I discovered when I planted in this goji here, that when I dug up all the raspberries, underneath is sawdust, you guys. That's how old this patch is. It is literally decomposing underneath. And so yes, there's a lot of new, but it honestly just needs to be dug up, moved, totally redone, and refreshed. So that's a project here. The birdhouse is done. I already went through that. Basically, I'll give you a quick overview of what it looks like with the birds. We are heading into butchering time. We're putting roosters in our freezer, putting all our hard work of hatching for food for us for the winter. You can see a whole bunch of turkeys there sunning themselves in the morning sun. So we got about 14 turkeys to butcher. We have about 40 roosters to go. Ducks, I think we're about 50 ducks, and I think it was 8 or 10 geese to butcher to bring our numbers down, so we only overwinter our breeding stock. So that's a big project. So basically we're doing about 10 birds a week, and we do that. So if you guys, hey, let me know if you're interested in how we butcher, if you want to learn how to gut a bird. I will definitely show you. I kind of tall in my head going back and forth. Should I show this? Should I not show this? Lots of people, some people don't like it, but I mean, it's kind of a necessity when you're on a homestead, and we love eating meat, and there is a proper way to do it. If you want to see it, I'm actually teaching my 7-year-old how to do it, so I'm going step by step and teaching her. While my other 3 kids, older kids, already know. So so every year, you know, as a kid gets older, they learn too. So it's all of a teamwork idea. So let me know in the comments if that's something you are interested in learning how to do, is gut a bird. Let me know. So the other thing is, you'll notice that the dugout looks weird. Usually it's like completely full, and this is one YouTube video that I will be making. I got so much footage on this. Is you see this lining? We had to put in all of this lining this year around the whole dugout. This was a massive job, hours of labor and pounding. You will see this video come up. There is hours on hours of footage on this that I have to make into a video and shrink basically hours of footage into 30 minutes to show you guys what we did, why we did it. And so right now we're just waiting for the dugout to fill back up. So that's kind of the bird side of things. So let's head to the cows. Okay, you guys, as I am walking, I am just kind of going to show you, look how green everything looks. We had so much rain, and let me tell you guys, when I say a lot of rain, I mean everyday rain. It got to the point where it's like, where's the sun? Where's the warmth? And the last couple of days, praise God, we haven't had rain, but it has been a challenging year here. Haying, I've never seen it so bad. For haying, for farmers getting on crops, it is just so wet, and it has devastated the haying this year. We had to buy bales 7 hours away this year. We had to have them shipped just to feed our animals, because right around us there is no hay, and anyone who is baling wet. So wet hay means mold, and you don't want to feed your animals mold. So it was a big challenge. So you see Clover here is giving us a nice little pose. So we got Clover here, that she was born last year, if you remember. The other thing is, remember that video that I posted, probably a month ago or 2 months ago? That is now it right there. It is our milking shed. And we have just put up those doors. And I'm just going to unlatch this gate for a second so I can hop in here. Hey, baby girl. And Cinnamon and Stella are just finishing up their breakfast. Hey, Cinnamon. No, we're not going to milking. So basically, what we did is my husband put the doors on a very, very wonderful track. So we're not opening and closing, we're pushing. And then inside here is the milking stanchions. So there's 2 on each side, and I'm just going to prevent her from going in here. And so what happens is that this side opens, and then this side over here opens, and we can actually milk 2 milking cows at once. So that's pretty cool. The new stanchions are in here. So this is now our milking station instead of out here in the open and freezing. So that was really, really exciting. Now we're going to move this old stanchion out, and we have 2 areas here where we can lock up the cows as needed. So that was really cool development there. The other thing is we had 2 calves born. Take a look. The brown calf was born a bull, is now a steer. And he was born end of July to Stella, the one with the horns. And Nutmeg here, she was born the beginning of July to Cinnamon, which she's following right now. And so we've had 2 very healthy calves, and I'll show you some footage of their births and some pictures there. So what's going to happen is we're going to change up our herd here a bit. We're keeping Clover is going to replace Stella because Stella is very mean with her horns, so she must go. She won't be here with us anymore after Neptune gets weaned. Cinnamon is our primary milk cow, and she is going on 6 years old already. So Nutmeg, her offspring over there hiding, is going to be the milk cow that will replace her. And Clover will get bred next year to our new bull that's a registered Dexter, and she will have her first calf in 2021. So by 2021 we will have 2 milk cows going, and that's why we made a double milking building, because we will have 2 milk cows, and it's nice to milk 2 at once. So that's kind of what's kind of happening here. Is Stella, I mean, yes, I trained Stella to be a milk cow, but she is so mean with those horns. She can't be on here. She can't be trusted around the kids and myself. She has hurt me several times with those horns. So when you've got an animal like that, it is not safe to keep them here. Otherwise, she's a fantastic mother. She's a fantastic girl, and we just can't work with her like I wanted to as a milk cow. So it's really cool that her offspring was so light. That was a shocker when he was born. But again, the bull was a Jersey cross, so for it to for Neptune to be as light is not uncommon. Nutmeg, on the other hand, I love her little white on the face. She's just an absolute gorgeous little girl, and she will be the future milk cow to replace Cinnamon, which saddens me that I have to think about that, but that's just how it's gonna be. And she is also a Dexter Jersey cross. So you can see here we still have puddles. I mean, we are at the end of August. This should be dry at the beginning of June. So this is crazy. There's even a sandpiper. You see that, guys? A little sandpiper eating the insects in the water here. Isn't that cute? So that's kind of what's happening with the cows. And these are the little kids that were born here on the farm this year. Look at their fat little round bellies. They're so healthy. So these two, Mars and Mercury, were born to Sahara. And remember Pluto, the little one that we saved and that Mom finally adopted? Well, he's happy and healthy. Look at him. He's such a little cutie. This is Pluto. So these guys are definitely doing well. They're over here away from their moms because we did wean them. You will see a rooster in the background there walking. He's going to be our new rooster for our flock. This year he's hanging out with these guys because I don't want him introduced yet to the flock until we get rid of all the rest of the roosters, so there's no fighting. So that's what's happening in this pen. Okay, so one thing that was really devastating this year was the loss of plants from winter kill. So we had a lot more losses as the summer progressed when we realized how much winter damage actually occurred to our fruit trees that we spent a lot of money on, and it is a loss, but you take it with a grain of salt and we will be replacing them. So this tree right here was a Sour Evans cherry tree, and this tree right here that is dead is a Sour Evans cherry. And what happened was, because it was so cold in winter, we had, and the average temperature was minus 33 for over a month. That was the warm day temperature, you guys. The nighttime temperature was minus 44. So we had over a month of this, and it killed so many trees. I mean, this isn't just mine. This is Alberta wide. Northern Alberta wide had tons and tons of trees affected. This Valentine cherry, I was shocked that it survived. Absolutely shocked. This is the best looking tree. It is unbelievable. These are stone dead. So what's happening is the rootstock is coming up. It's alive, but the actual graft part is completely dead. These little bush, these ones here are Nanking cherries. They survived because there was a lot of snow coverage on them. But let's head to the orchard and I'll show you some of the losses there. And as we're walking, I'll just kind of give you an idea. Because of the rain, the peppermint went crazy. All of this is peppermint. We've harvested 10 gallons. 10 gallons, you guys, of dried peppermint this year. So we are going to be having lots and lots of peppermint tea. We brought in gravel this year, so our driveway's gravel. We moved our vehicles over there. The rhubarb can get a second cut on it. I missed the house, so take a look at the house. We put up metal siding on the house there, where we took that whole wall off last year and put a new wall on. We got some siding, some metal on there. That school bus, we bought a school bus that is gutted, and that is going to be the future butchering, outside, kitchen, hanging area for meat. We're going to completely convert that into a wonderful outside kitchen, so we're not cutting or meat and stuff inside the house, because we do have a cat boarding business, and it is a challenge when you've got 20 plus cats running around the house and you bring a half a beef in and you try to cut it up. So it's just nice too that we can keep it outside. We can wash everything down, keep it clean. So that's another future project. You're here in the orchard, and I'm going to show you some good things and some bad things, all to do with the winter. So the pear tree survived, which is awesome. We're going into fall. So this is one Russian pear tree, and this is another Russian pear tree here that look really, really good. I didn't get to finishing all the rows in between. I have an 11-month-old, and it has been just a challenge with her, and there's so many projects, so I'm just happy with what we got. This apple tree is completely dead. We lost every single apple tree. That's 5 apple trees were killed. All of this is rootstock coming back. I don't want it. It's a wild crab apple that they actually use as a rootstock. So I don't want it, so I've been feeding those actually to my rabbit. And replacements have been ordered for spring of 2020. I ordered them from Hardy Fruit Trees, so I'm hoping to have better luck there. The Canadian plum did phenomenal over winter from Hardy Fruit, so it was really interesting. All the trees and shrubs and everything that I ordered from Hardy Fruits, they survived. Everything that I bought from a local nursery of the apple trees died. Interesting. So this is another plum, and it looks really, really good. This one actually died back to the rootstock, but contacting Hardy Plum or Hardy Fruit, they said that the actual rootstock was a really nice plum tree anyway, and I should be able to just let it grow. So that's exactly what I did. That's the only one I lost. Otherwise, everything else is growing really good. The strawberries that I planted in look really, really good, and they look awesome there. I won't be able to do as much runners with them this year as I want to, but we're still catching up. This is another plum tree that looks awesome. Again, a completely dead apple tree. It's just so sad to see. You know, the other apple tree we actually cut down and used the apple bark for a rabbit to chew on. So, you know, some good things and some bad things. These here should have grown a lot more, but because of lack of sun, I'm just happy for what they did. So at least they survived the winter. These are elderberries. And we planted in some more hascups. We finished this row, and we did another row over here. So we're going to do another row next year. There's 2 more apple trees here that we did. They're completely dead, and so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to replace them with a surprise for next year, and I'm not going to say what the surprise is because my husband will probably be watching this video, and it is a surprise for him. So they are getting replaced with something else, and I will tell you that next year when they come. And then the tomatoes. So these are all tomato plants in the garden. Not a single red tomato, you guys. This is a worst year. There is, like I said, it was so wet. There's no sun. And you used to see the sun. They're like, hey, it's sunny right now while you're filming. Yeah, it is. I can maybe count, you know, maybe 10 really hot sunny days that we had all summer long. So, I mean, it's cold right now. I'm filming and my hands are freezing outside. It is only like +3 right now. So tomatoes, there will be no harvest off of the tomatoes, and if there is, the tomatoes are only, you know, my beefsteak tomato size is only a cherry tomato. We have some dill there in the background. The cucumbers all died. The zucchinis all died. There's some red beets, some carrots. Everything's growing very, very, very slowly because there's no heat. It's always wet and cold. So I'm just thankful. You know, I'll be able to do some canned red beets hopefully in September. Hopefully I can get that filmed. But other than that, the gardens this year all around northern Alberta, especially where we are in the Grand Prairie area, they are awful. Peas, you know, anyone planted peas and beans, everything has molded and died. Crops that people have planted, you know, big fields of peas are all molded. So it has just been a challenging year, to say the least, from a really, really harsh winter to an exceptionally cold, wet summer has claimed a lot of plants, and it is just devastating because some of these things we got to start all over from scratch again. So these ones here, there's some vines here. This is honeysuckle here and honeysuckle over there. They're doing okay. So that's a little orchard update. Probably not what you guys all want to hear, but that's just a fact that's happening here. And so basically that's kind of the farm update. Why don't we head inside the house and take a look at some homeschooling stuff, and I'm going to go through what I'm going to do with meals for schooling, because sometimes that's a very big stumbling block is how do you get lunches when you're dealing with so many, when you're schooling all morning, you can't be in the kitchen, can you? So I'm going to share with you my meal plan. I'm going to share with you what we're doing with school, how we're doing all these grades at once, and how to keep things in order. So let's go inside the house here. So let's come into the house where it's nice and warm because my hands are cold. I'll give you a little tour here of the house. There's a cat there going into the catio. Rhoda, you go in the catio or out of the catio, girl? So like I said, we got a cat boarding business. We board cats year round, so you'll notice that there's always cats all over the place. My kids are probably just finishing breakfast. How are you guys doing this morning?
Good.
Thank you so much for giving me a hand. So one question that I get a lot is, oh my goodness, you have 6 kids. How do you do it?
Better.
This is how we do it. Take a look at teamwork. I am outside filming while Meadow was supposed to be sleeping. They finished breakfast in here. One is starting dishes, and I'll help her when I'm done filming. One got Meadow, changed her diaper, right, Ocean?
Yep. Got
her up, starting to feed her breakfast. Annika's still finished. Orion's working outside, and I'm missing one other daughter.
Grace.
Where's Grace?
Sitting on the couch.
I'm undoing some knots.
And Grace is undoing some knots. So why don't you help your sister? Okay? Nova. So it's called teamwork, you guys. It's not just me doing stuff. It is a team effort. And that's what's so important about a big family. Lots to do. When you hear me say, hey, we run our business, we have a full-time farm here that we do, we homeschool. It's not just me, it's everyone working together as a team to accomplish what we do. Okay, so I just really want to stress that because that's a question that comes up a lot. How do you do it? I do it because we work as a team, as a group. Okay, so basically, while I have the kitchen here, which is kind of in a mess, but this is what a typical our kitchen looks like early in the morning from working. There's a ton of dishes that need to get done, and like I said, I'll help give them a hand here after. Meadow's up, that needs to get fed. So how do I do this with schooling? Okay, very, very, very scheduled. So we wake up in the morning at 6 in the morning. We milk the cow. We go outside and feed everyone outside, all the animals. We come inside, we have breakfast. At 9 o'clock, we start schooling. The table gets cleared and schooling starts. The older two, Ocean and Orion, who are in grade 7, I go through their stuff really quick. Ocean will go upstairs to her room and she will do her schooling, so there's not so much noise. Orion has a table and chair set up in his room. He does his schooling. Nova over here is now independent. Say hi to everybody. Hi. Nova here will, again, after I explain Orion and Ocean and we go through to make sure I know where they are at, Nova gets the exact same treatment as well. And she will also go to her room, which is not just her room, the girls' room, the rest of the girls, but she'll be working in that room with the table and chairs. And then, Annika, you're in grade 1, aren't you? Annika over here, she is in grade 1. And then Grace, who disappeared on me for a moment, she is in grade 3. So I will basically be sitting here, and I'll have Annika here and Grace over here, and we will be working together, and I'll be doing this schooling because they need a little bit more help. Grace, can you say hi to everyone? Hi. You'll be in grade 3 this year, won't you? Yeah. So then I'll be teaching them, and Meadow over here, she will be basically crawling all over the place, and so I have a idea with her too. So another big question: how do you keep schooling with a baby in the house? Well, I got an interesting thing. You see these toys here? I went to Value Village, which is just like a thrift store here in Canada, and I will be clearing all these toys out that she has seen since like 6 months old. And I'm going to introduce her with a couple of new bags of toys. So every week I have bought, I think, about 8 bags of toys for like 15 bucks, okay? Like toys, like car toys and interesting things. Every bag was different. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean all these out, and every week I'm going to give her 2 of those bags. And then at the end of that week, I'm going to take those toys away and give her 2 new bags. So every week there's new toys, so there's something new to look at. And then the old toys become new toys. You see what I mean? And it helps stimulate her to keep playing, but she's seeing something new. And I'll throw down, as she develops, throw down some crayons. But she's not at that crayon stage right now. She's just at that, well, let's put it in my mouth. So it's a matter of keeping her busy, keeping her entertained with something new, and keeping her going while I school, which is definitely a challenge. And especially this year, I think one video that I will be making is how to toilet train, because guess what, Meadow? Come December, you need to be toilet trained, don't you? Oh boy! So it'll be toilet training for her, and I'll teach you how I do that. So let's just head her downstairs for a moment, because that's where all the schooling stuff is. Okay. So this is also their playroom, and we got another cat here, and we got another cat over here. Hey, Mocha! And so this is where our organization comes in when it comes to schooling. Take a look at that. Isn't that awesome? I'm sure somebody's going to say, oh my goodness, where did you get that from? Well, guess what? There was a accounting office in the city, and they put a free ad on Kijiji that they were reorganizing their office, and they had these, and they were going to just throw them away unless somebody would take them for free. We jumped on it and got it for free, which has revolutionized my organization when it comes to schooling. So let's take a look. So the kids are going and doing biology, the ones in grade 7, and they're going to be doing these 3 books. This is a Christian biology. It's called Exploring Creation with Zoology, Swimming Creatures, Land Creatures, or Land Animals. It is a quite interesting series, and it is Christian based, okay? So they're going to go through these 3 science books this year, here. And then every year they're going to go through 2 more. So they've got astronomy, we've got the human body, we've got some chemistry and physics, and this one's botany. So we're doing biology this year, and then so this will do grade 7, 8, and 9. So I'm just splitting it up in between there. So Nova's this is her reader. So I got readers here. I've got social studies books here. So some of them are doing some of these here. And then these all here, all their workbooks put into proper grades. So that's all the homeschooling books and stuff like that. And you know, you as a homeschooler, Mom, you really got to be organized. You really do. You have to be scheduled. The kids need to know when schooling starts, when schooling's done, and it keeps everybody in a really good schedule. Now, while I'm back up here, we took a break and I helped clean up the kitchen. And then Ocean, what are you making?
Special bread.
She's making some special bread. So she turned 11 and she likes being in the kitchen and making special creations to eat, don't you?
Yes.
Which is awesome. What did I say? Teamwork. It is not about me cooking everything. And I have almost reached a new stage because Orion is 12, Ocean is 11, Nova is 9, Grace is turning 8, and Annika is turning 6 this year. So what I've discovered is my 3 oldest is Orion, Ocean, and Noah. They want to cook. They want to make different cookies. They want to make cakes. They want to make breads. But they have learned so much from me that they can do it themselves without me helping them. It's a very interesting creations. Right, Ocean?
Yes.
Some that work and some that don't taste very good, do they? But that's how you learn. Let the kids discover. Let them take what I have taught them since you've been 2 years old, Ocean. Actually, you've been in the kitchen since you've been 1, since you can stand on a chair. So when you train your kids young, by the time they're Ocean's age, and she just turned 11 this year, she's making bread, she's making buns, she's making cookies, she's making anything she wants, she can grab and try and bake, right?
Yep. Even things that taste good but don't turn out.
That's right. So, coming to that is the meal plan. The meal plan while you homeschool. It's busy, busy, busy. Mom gets pulled in so many different directions concerning grades, so many different areas that you gotta have lunches pre-made. And so soups with a large family and lots of people to feed and growing kids is the easiest. So I picked 4 different kinds of soups. One's a chili. I guess chili's not really soup, but anyway, it's a stock pot meal. A chili, one's a noodle-based soup, one is a split pea soup, and one's kind of like a sweet potato, butternut squash with hamburger in it. And that way that every week we have a different soup, we'll rotate those soups, and that way I know on my grocery list what I need to have on hand, and it doesn't get boring. And so those are the soups, so that way Saturday I'll get the beef bones ready in the stock pot cooking for 12 to 24 hours. Sunday we'll get all the ingredients in, then from Monday to Friday that's the lunch that we're having. By Saturday anything left over will be used for a lunch to get rid of, and then we will basically start a new soup. So that's what I like to do. And I'm gonna go to the store, we get some nice stuff in there, some fun things for the kids to eat with their soups, and just make it really quick so that way all you are is heating up and dishing out. So that's what we're doing during the school. And basically these guys here, they sometimes like to cook some cookies for snacks, because I find cookies to be one of the best things for kids to learn how to cook. They go from cookies to cakes, then from cakes to breads and buns, and from breads and buns you go to suppers. And then basically by the time they are, 14, they know how to bake in the kitchen, and that is really good and gets them well prepared when they become old enough where, my word, you can get married and have a family of your own. Isn't that crazy, Ocean?
Yeah.
So they're well equipped that's what we need to do with our children, is equip them to adulthood, that they know how to cook, that they know how to fend for themselves, that they can bake without packages. And that's what we are doing here. So that is a update. And like I said, with posting, you're gonna see a summer post come on, because I'm gonna edit. You're gonna see, you know, hopefully some toilet training, some canned red beets getting done. Hopefully the last video of the rhubarb series will go on here within the month, stuff like that. And again, keep watching, keep commenting. I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for patience. And I'm also excited that we are getting closer and closer to 10,000 subscribers. So like this video and share it. And I just want to thank you so much to all my subscribers, and have a wonderful, wonderful end of your summer if that's what it is in your area. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video.